Hey, it's Bonding with Board Games. HAMTAG.
Lite.
It's Judd Vance, Bart Brunchine. I didn't say our names in our last one. So the topic we're doing, top 5 most expensive non-wargame collections.
Yes.
Or series.
Yeah, the Wargame one's kind of cool. So.
It is. It is. I like it. We enjoyed it. We're like, you know what? We have other games that are expensive as well.
And I'm jealous, by the way.
Why is that?
When we did the Wargame one, you had a totally awesome idea. When you
Putting
put all the board,
together, yes.
that would have made my list so much more cool, because then I would have been able to pull in like State of Siege and, oh shoot, what is that? Starfleet Battles.
When I did my list, so what I do is I'll throw a bunch of stuff, just like I'll just spitball it in. And I was like, man, I could end up with a big Borg, Borg. So I thought, oh, let me just, boom, clump them together as a collection, even though different publishers. I actually thought that might make some people mad. And I was like, I like it.
Yeah, it was cool. It gives you the list more flavor.
Yeah, but I like how we don't sit and confer or come up with what it's going to be. We just know it's going to be most expensive non-wargame collection / series.
Yep.
And you do way better than I do on like, this much money, this is what I paid. I don't do that. I kind of know where it's at. I'm a little embarrassed even by the cost of some of these. And I don't
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, well, and I didn't want to put it in paper because the wife would be like, you spent how much?
Yeah, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing.
That's
don't
right.
let the spouse know what you're doing.
Yeah, where did that? I could have paid the mortgage. Yeah, so, all right, I'll start this one off. So I'll go with number 5. Speaking of paying the mortgage, Mythic Battles Pantheon. So this has been, they did Conan, they did a Batman thing that I didn't get on that was huge. Yeah, it was huge. There are miniatures, basically dudes on a map, and their minis are gorgeous. Their methodiction is they don't do stretch goals. Well, they will have stretch goals, but they will also have bonus buys. Makes it sound good. If you spend $10, you can get this, or ooh, now there's the Hades pack, and you get these 4, and I'm like, oh, those are great. So next thing you know, I'm like, yeah, all in, baby. All in. Yeah, and then I'm doing that old deal where it's like, well, look at this. If I do the bundle, I'm really saving money.
Yeah.
I'm saving
I'm only
money.
up to $5,000 and I'm saving $6,000.
You bundled it. Look how much money I've saved. When this showed up, I'm not kidding. I had to take a day off just to get stuff unboxed and figure out how I was going to store it. They even send an extra box just for stuff that you're going to be putting in. Yeah. And then some of the art is so good, I'm like, I don't want to get rid of this. And then I'm like, I can't keep all this. I literally don't, unless this was the only game I had. So I'm not going to,
you are the anti-Greg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got
East-West, Bart Greg.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
I got hooked in. Then they came out, they had to ship in 2 modes. There was first shipping, second shipping. Then they had some issues with some of the stuff, so they had a re-release with an upgrade. And then it was a good deal. It was like only $20 for this upgrade kit because these boards had to be updated and stuff. Whoo! And I was thinking, this is what I do that's bad. I was thinking Bo will love this as well. And Bo was like, it's Greek mythology stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Wow, I mean, fit the theme today.
I know, you're right on.
That's Hades and Eurydice. Sorry, Orpheus and Eurydice, Hades and Persephone.
It's perfect. And he was like, you want to play Zombicide? He goes, you got all that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I kind of wanted to do a little Greek thing. He's like, nah, I don't want to.
If you have Orpheus and Eurydice in there, my daughter might come over and play with you.
They may be in there. I don't know. This is just one. It goes on and on and on. And I will admit, I felt a little dirty after it showed up. Yeah, I was like, and my eyes were much bigger than my appetite. But I still kind of, half my joy here is looking at it, which is terrible. It's the collector side of it. So, Mythic Battles Pantheon.
You need help, man.
I actually, when Batman came out, there was a little bit of like, oh, oh, and I thought, I can't. Look what I did with this. And I literally turned away from Kickstarter for about 6 months because I thought I may have a problem. And it's called Mythic Battles Pantheon. So that is my number 5. We will get it out of the way. It's gorgeous, but oh, so decadent.
My number 5, this is where I copied off you, where I took kind of similar, different systems and combined them into one. Nice. Plus, it's listed on BGG as the same family. It is King of Tokyo / King of New York.
Love it.
So, anyway, it is. I have both the base games, and then I have the Halloween expansion, the power-up for each one, and they made special monsters. I think Anubis might be how you say his name, King Kong, and Cthulhu. And then I have a couple of individual cards.
Yes.
It amounts to, what's funny is I've never spent a dime on the game.
What?
Yeah, but the value, yeah. I traded for the base games, Board Game Co., Alex SR, if you know him. We do these big trades, and I toss it in. Oh, yeah, this is kind of a cool game. Aaron taught it to me. And then all the expansions and monsters and everything else from my family. Father's Day, birthdays, Christmas. Hey, they're very affordable, easy. Whole family loves the game. If you're not familiar with it, it like combines Godzilla with Yahtzee. Very thematic game.
King Kong.
Yeah. Tokyo was the first. New York then came out, improved the system quite a bit, gave you better options with the dice.
Really?
Yeah, instead of one monster in the central, there's Tokyo and non-Tokyo. It's the boroughs, all 5 of the boroughs, which I've been to, which is big news for somebody from Kansas. I don't know too many people have been to all 5 boroughs.
Wow.
I've been in New York 6 times. I know my way around, and I can do the subway system. And I actually had strangers ask me, are you from here? Which I was real impressed because I think a local would know I'm not. Yeah. And I said no, and they looked bummed.
Why did they think you were from there?
They were desperate. But also, it was winter time, so I had a Bears coat on, and I didn't look like I didn't have I Heart New York or anything. Like we were in a subway, and they said, I go, what? I said, well, I know the subway's pretty well. What are you looking for? And they told me, yeah, follow me up on here. We're going to hop off at this exit. You go 2 exits down to blah blah blah. So. Anyway, sorry,
cool.
But yeah, it's the 5 boroughs, and so Manhattan, you can have 2 monsters in it, and you get these little buildings that you can destroy instead of the 1, 2, 3. If you're familiar with it, they give you better options. The dice where you can do monster attacks in the buildings and get benefits. It might be a hospital with 2 hearts, so it gives you health points, which is funny. The monster going into a human hospital, but you destroy the building, you get it, but then it flips over and becomes a military piece, and then there's stuff on here that can. You roll, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to hit you with the military. They're going to attack you along with my monster. But if you roll too bad, it activates all the militaries in every borough, and you'll get hit by them. So it really works it a little better. So the New York's a better game, but Tokyo's a blast. And the cool thing was the monsters go into either game. So
Richard Garfield's a genius.
Yes, he knows how to milk money. He's like he and Borg. Yeah. They just rule the roost when it comes to generate money.
Well, he knows how to do those card effects and then tying in the dice, because this is the first game. Well, there was little kid games that I'd played with Bo, but this is the first game when he was 5. I broke this out because it's got that cartoony element, the monsters, and then of course the dice rolling and what you're doing and what you're trying to do, and then the cards that you add in. He was hooked. He could probably tell you today. He had a monster that he tricked out, which had poisonous spit. He loved that. It had reflective hide. I think he liked that. And then there was some other card on there, and he was like, this. He could see his monster in his mind's eye as it morphed into this spitting, reflective hide. It was, and he was like, this is great. And I was like, this is cool. Yeah. Because now I was gaming with my 5-year-old, and he was more into that game with his character than I was, and I thought, yes.
And see, like a lot of the expansions, power-up's pretty cool, because if you're familiar with the game, you can't get heal points when you're in the city, Manhattan or Tokyo. But if you roll 3 hearts, you can draw off your special individualized deck. Otherwise, the monsters are just generic. But yeah, you have a specialized deck. It's called an evolution deck.
Right.
The Halloween one was kind of a money grab. Gives you some orange dice, whoop-de-doo, and a different monster.
Yeah.
But the individual monsters are cool because you think, oh, they're just a monster with a deck. No, the Anubis. I hope I'm saying that name right. He's like a Egyptian dude. You get this pyramid die, and you can roll it. And I think anybody can roll it if I got it right. I haven't played with him yet, but it's it can bring blessings or curses. King Kong has this little building that comes in there, and like when you do certain things, you can climb a level, and if you get to the top, you automatically win.
Really?
Yeah, and Cthulhu has like insanity, like I can put insanity stuff on people, and if I do, I put a token on you, and then when you roll the dice, you have to pull one die out for every token and lock it on the first one. Or it might be I get to do it, but anyways, it locks dice down so you can't re-roll them. So they offer extra, and they're neat. They're like little $10 expansions. So it's one of those you better pick up if you're at the store because it costs more to ship than it will to. But yeah. So anyways, my total value I have in it was $185. Ooh. Like I said, I never spent a dime, but that's pretty much what I put if I was trying to go get it. Huh. So that's my number 5, King of Tokyo.
Again, I don't have my individual dollar values, and if I did, Mythic may be up there, but it's hard to tell because you'll see on the list. So in the same genre, well, not genre, from the same company. Yes, they also did. So it's Monolith is the company. They did Conan. Conan was first. They've done some extra books. They've got another thing coming out. I actually, going in, I loved, this is the Conan from the gritty 70s, sexualized,
Schwarzenegger?
Bloody, that kind of deal, but from the comic. Now, I didn't follow the comic back in the day, but that was what got me interested in this from the get-go, is it wasn't like a cartoonized Conan. It was, hey, this is going to be gritty. We're not aiming this at little children. This is for big children.
So there's no Wilt Chamberlain figure in there?
There's not. There's some stuff. I mean, you got this cool little monster on the back. Now, I've got multiple boxes. I did not, because this is before the Mythic Battles Pantheon. I did not buy these like expansion boxes. I thought, I don't need that. I got it. It had a tray system that deals with these cards, that the cards is, if you pull the, I don't know what the system's called, but the cards are more expensive the further back they are, but if you take the free card, they all step down. But you could pay some cubes to get a middle card that's something that's going to work better for a fight that you want to do or give you a power, but it's going to cost more. And then everything slots down on this card.
Like Kansas and Sea.
Okay, it's very cool with these cards, and that part of the system intrigued me, and the map boards were gorgeous. The sad part is I got this, played it, and immediately was had that, it's not buyer's remorse, it's that I didn't buy remorse. What's that called? Non-buying remorse. I don't know. And I was like, I must now get the
Fear
other
of missing
boxes.
out, realized.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was like, why didn't I get the extra? Yeah. And I went and sourced them secondary, paid more money for them, and I was like, idiot, which is part of what led to the addiction problem with Pantheon, with Mythic Battles, because I'll be like, I ain't missing out this time. And I went in over the top. I picked this one. This is actually like for the expansion material, but I love the whole sunset deal. They've got wonderful art. They've added some books, and they messed up their last Kickstarter, which was doing this weird thing I won't even go into. But everybody wants more stuff from Conan, and they've stepped away. They haven't been back to it since, I don't know, like maybe 09 or 10 or something when this came out. So they're coming back in. I saw a little teaser that they're going to have. I'll buy more. I really like this system and the way they work their cards and special abilities. So what else did I miss here? Yep, secondary market, it says on there.
Okay.
Brutal, love it. Again, what is this? The book of a set. And again, it's got all these scenarios that are in here. It's just awesome. So, all right, we'll put her down. All
righty. My number 4 is Star Trek Fleet Captains by WizKids. To understand the importance of Star Trek in my life, Starfleet Battles is my gateway game. That's what caused the monster you see today. I am an engineer because when I was in junior high school, Wrath of Khan came out. Needs the many outweigh the needs of the few. Logic clearly dictates. Remember Tron, which I think you're wearing a shirt based off of.
I am.
Cool. The
Solo Tron.
the premiere of it. When the trailer said, "Go to a land where the laws of logic do not exist." I'm like, laws? Spock's been quoting these. I want to learn them. I want to be Mr. Spock. So what do you do when you're a kid and you want to know? You go to your older siblings. So I asked my sister, how do you learn the laws of logic? My sister doesn't particularly like math that much, that algebra. And she goes, I think you take algebra. So I went into algebra and I was nuts about it because I was going to, when we got to the part of the laws of logic, I was going to be quoting them like Spock.
Wow.
That led to one thing to another. So Mr. Spock's why I'm and my sister are why I'm an engineer.
Very nice.
So it's very important in my life. Yeah, the game, I have everything for it, which isn't much. There's a Romulan expansion and there's a Dominion expansion. I got the base game unplayed stuff and wrappers of BGG Con for $40. So how do I have value?
Klingons come with the base system.
Yes. So how do I have so much money tied into it? Okay, the beef on the game is very thin material. It's a $100 game normally. So I was real pleased to get it for $40. But when you think of how much money they had to pay Paramount,
sure.
If you put GMT cards and memoir tiles and stuff, and then you're looking at $150, you're going to price yourself out of the market.
That's the problem.
So, yeah, I got the cards. I sleeved every card in the game. All 3 expansions.
Really?
It's like $65.
I'll make people mad, but I hate sleeves.
I
would rather wear out the game and enjoy the wear than sleeve it.
Wow. Well, they're just so thin, and they stick together, too. But anyway, so yeah, I did all that. Plus, it's funny, I have non-value into this thing. Oh, I also, player-made aids. I go out and I laminate them because I'm that type of dork off of BGG. Wow. Good stuff. I have them for all the expansions. But what's funny was, I have an investment. Now, when I did this, I did it purely money. So I said the total I've got tied up in this is about $205. But I have a lot more tied up. When I played the Romulan expansion, I said, this is really cool. Do I want the Dominion expansion?
Yes.
Well, there's the Kardashians in, and I'm not talking about Kim and Chloe. I'm talking about Goldacott and his buds. I had never watched Deep Space Nine.
Ooh.
And you're thinking, how can you call yourself a nerd and not watch DS9? Because I'm full of nerd rage. Because, see, Babylon 5 is my jam. I mean, that Babylon 5 Mark Herman is kind of there. I'm crazy.
You love Babylon 5.
Yes. They stole the whole idea from Babylon 5. He presented them the idea to Paramount. They held a script for a year, said no thank you, stole it, then tried to bury him by putting it out first. Yeah, he took him to court. And a lot of people say, oh, it's just coincidence that it happens to be a space station without a 5-year mission, with a gigantic war with everybody who were former enemies coming together to fight the shadows. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, that was the Dominion. And we had the super technologically advanced ship, the most advanced thing. What was that called? White Star 1? Oh, wait, that's right, the Defiant. Yeah, right down the line. But the fact is, he sued them. They settled out of court. And right after they settled, Majel Barrett, a.k.a. Mrs. Gene Roddenberry, did a guest appearance on Babylon 5 as Emperor Turn's widow and got on the message boards and told Star Trek fans to support this show. Coincidence? Anyways, so out of respect for B5 and my love of it, I would not do anything with DS9. Just Klingons.
Wow.
I remember that from deep.
Yeah.
So,
but I've been educated. I didn't know this.
Now, my sister, who, she's a writer, so she has this very, very, very writer angle. She told me, she'd watched them all. She says DS9 is the best of all of them. I was like, well, yeah, they stole it. But I always was curious about it. Then when I got into Battlestar Galactica, and found out that Ronald Moore, who I adore Battlestar Galactica, he was a writer. I was like, okay, I can see him taking the outline, like if you saw Finding Forrester, or if you saw the movie where he tells the kid, start typing my words in when you feel your own voice take off. He took the concept, and I've heard a lot of the real trick, the deniers, oh, no, it's all coincidence. But a lot of people who really come out and say, yeah, you know what, they did steal their idea, but they ended up doing their own thing, and ended up with 2 great shows out of it. And it seems like the hatchet was buried with Straczynski and them and all that, and they all said, yeah, it was rough, but worked out. So I got into, anyways, so I got interested, but you can't, I wasn't going to buy it. I mean, I just can't, I'm still not spending that much money.
You went and stole it from somebody.
I couldn't check it out at the library because you get 1 week, and I can't binge 22 episodes in 7 days, 7 weeks.
Okay.
So when I decided do I want this or not, I got on the DVR and told it to start grabbing everything DS9. So I went all in on it. So not only do I have $205 in it, I've now got to watch about 140 hours of DS9 just to play the game.
And you loved it.
I haven't started watching. I mean, it's been gathering. I've got like, it's been this episode, and now I've got about 3 seasons so I can start binging it.
Odo's awesome. The Ferengi are fleshed out.
I watched the first 2 episodes when it came out, the one with Q where Picard never hit me. I'm not Picard. I saw those 2, and that's all I ever saw. So now I'm getting ready to start binging it. So that's quite the investment.
The name of the Trill symbiote. And the first females, and yes, Jadzia.
Yeah.
First of all,
how's that? I know all this stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I even know about the Dominion War. I know how the Dominion War ends.
Wow.
But I haven't watched the show.
But Jadzia, and how when she was, because Cisco always calls her old man because he met her when she was, and he was a Klingon ambassador and fought, and so he's got all this cool Klingon stuff, but it's in her. I love that. Yeah, that is so cool how they did that. That is really good.
Now, if you want to know why Voyager's not as good, Ronald Moore, I don't know why they didn't want him on that. So then he ran off and did Battlestar Galactica, which he did a killer job with that. Which that's kind of my idea was, okay, he had the BSG outline from the original show and then took it in his own direction. So I could see him taking the outline of Babylon 5 and running off and doing his thing. So I hope I'm right.
It's a good story. That was entertaining for me.
Okay.
All right. My number 3. Now, I don't have them all. Well, I have them, but I didn't bring them all onto the show. You're going to say, what? These are Martin Wallace's War Frog / Tree Frog subscription. So, I had seen Automobile. My dad was huge into cars. And I remember he rebuilt the 1929 Model A, and he kind of liked games, but more card stuff, hearts, spades. Oh, heck is what my grandparents called it, not oh, hell. But I saw this, and I thought, you know what? I love the idea of this game, and I like the idea of this subscription thing. I'm going to get these at a pretty good deal. The shipping got him in a little bit of a jam as well. Shipping had gone up, and he ended up running into some issues. I love the artwork. I'd actually looked it up, and then we were getting ready to film. I hadn't written it down. I couldn't find it. I thought it was on my laptop. I'd had the list of the games as they come out, because you bought like a year's worth, and he put out 4 games in a year. And they would just, boom, he would make them, and they would show up. And some are better than others. We played the heck out of A Few Acres of Snow. Love it. Card drafting, the way you can, it's card drafting with the game where you can't just bring troops on right when you want it. You got to pre-plan it. And Automobile, thanks to Greg and his one sheets and everything with this. And when you play it, with Greg, he'll be like, well, the odds are, what's the cost? Well, he's got all the cost-based stuff, and he'll be like, that's that. Sadly, my dad actually passed away right as this came out, and I think I avoided playing it for a little while. And then Greg had a copy at our board game night, and I thought, let me get in. It was a very fun, heavy Euro. As you know, I'm terrible with like even just basic math. I'd be like, hold on. Greg's so helpful because on his deal, it'd be like the odds are such and such to such and such based on. I'm like, thank you. So, but I love the game. And what Martin Wallace does so well is create this play space that's just, for me, it's interesting to play and to watch. I was in a game. We had I think the player count's 4, whatever it is. We had the max, 3 to 5. So I think we had 5. Greg was playing, and he did a deal where he had an early factory that will bring lost cubes as the game goes on. I won't go into the deep detail, but you can close these in order to avoid taking all these lost cubes. He wouldn't close it. And I'm thinking, Greg doesn't do stuff willy-nilly. So I was like, I'm going to finish middle of the pack here. I can tell in this game, but I'm like, I'm going to pay a lot of attention right here without tipping the hand and see what Greg is doing, because he's doing something way different. And I saw what he was doing and how he was mitigating things. And I thought, and I'm pretty sure he won too. And I thought, that's cool, but it was tight. And I thought, I'm going to recreate that. And I was recreating it. And there was another guy at the table who kept insisting as I'm recreating, why aren't you shutting that down? It's the best move to shut it down. I'm like, I'm going to leave it open. Greg kind of wandered over and looked at me. I'm like, He recognized that I was using his system, and then I ended up winning, and people were very perplexed how I could win. And I don't even remember how it worked and what the details were, but I'm so glad. I haven't played, actually, there's a few games in there that haven't been out of the shrink.
Is Byzantium and Pericles part of that system?
They were early on. I picked up Pericles secondhand, but they were in the first subscription off. At least Pericles was. I think it was the one I grabbed that I could get. Winsdale, the God's Playground, is the 3-player war game. That's the one that's still in the shrink. It just, I hadn't gotten to it, but awesome. Just a total pleasure.
It blows you away. You can put out 4 a year and still put out stuff like Automobile and a few acres of snow. You figure he's going to put out 4 dogs or mail it in or whatever. But
I don't know.
Automobile's my favorite Euro.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, knowing what I know now, I was pretty new into gaming, I don't think I would do that subscription blank, because I don't even think he said what all the games were going to be. Maybe he had them named or something. I can't remember, but there's no way I would just go, sure, here you go. Yeah. So, but they've gone up in value, but it's not even totally about the cash value of them. A lot of it is the memories. You and I playing this at church. This game had my brain working so much, I would be driving home thinking, what if I did this? And then I would try that out. And then I'd be like, what if I did this? And it was just such a brain exploration that I was like, wow, love Martin Wallace as a designer. So fun times, good stuff. Enjoy those. The subscription don't have the total value, but priceless to me.
Do you know what it costs to be in a subscription each year?
I don't even remember.
My number 3 is...
Put it in the comments if you guys know.
A Touch of Evil.
Ooh,
by Flying Frog Games. It's funny, if I would have got my original deal, it wasn't going to be on the list. Aaron had taught me this game, and we had played the Something Wicked expansion. Oh, by the way, what I have is everything. Something Wicked, The Coast, both hero packs, and then the Madness. The Madness expansion's like 10, like 12 cards or so.
Don't they do a soundtrack too?
Yeah, I've never messed with them. They're still in shrink. I'd rather play Dream Theater.
What? Oh,
play Forsaken if I want something spooky. Anyway, the Madness and the Allies. They're like 12-card expansions. So, and then the hero packs, like 6 heroes or something. So they're not big. The big ones are the Coast and the Something Wicked, which is board, all new locations. Well, Aaron and I had played. When he got Something Wicked, we played it. When we got the Coast, we played it. And I had liked it, and I saw solitaire potential in it. I mean, because there's 2 ways of playing it, which is what's cool. It's co-op or it's competitive. And it follows the idea of, it's not Arkham Horror that you got Cthulhu from Beyond awakening to demolish the earth or something. There's some bad dude who's going to come and jack up the town. Headless horseman, witches, vampire dude like this. There's town elders. Some of them are in with the bad dude. Some of them are on your side. They all have secrets. They got these secret cards. You can spend actions to reveal them and find out if they're on your side. It's because you need allies when you fight them. You go around, you're collecting, it's not really clues as much as like money tokens to buy stuff. Guns, muskets, balls, herbs, books, musket ball type things, fire shot.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah. And, that's funny. Woo! Okay.
Sorry, I threw you.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm off my mojo, man.
Yeah, I was thinking cannonballs. I don't know where did you...
Courage, liquid courage.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was thinking
like books of
intestinal fortitude.
Books of wisdom, of witchcraft, whatever the thing. And they got the character cards with special abilities, like he's talking about. You'd seen these other games that your son likes. The zombie side, where your character has special powers, special abilities.
Yes.
But anyways, the game, what's cool is, okay, you're not going to the other worlds and closing gates. It's a little more rooted in its 18th century, which is big with me, American Revolution time. You got militia with their tricorn hats that can fight with you. And if you lose to the bad guy, if you're getting jacked up, you can retreat and start to heal. The bad guy will heal. And what's cool in the competitive part is you got these cards that you can play Okay, you're going to go take on the bad guy, try to win the game. Hey, I'm going to play this card that's going to help the bad guy. Give him extra dice or whatever. Or if you're playing cooperatively, I can play this on any player to give them extra dice.
Wow.
So I've never played competitively. Aaron and I have always played together because we figure we're lousy enough on our own. But yeah, it's really cool. The reason I got into it, when I decided to pull the trigger on this a couple years ago, I was like, I'm going to go pretty much all in. There's a guy had it for $150, everything. And I knew the Coast expansion was going for like $120 by itself because out of print, hard to get. So I wrote him and waited, and then finally it timed out. And I was like, oh, that's why he had it for $150. He hadn't been on BGG in forever, so to update his price. But so I ended up buying him separately, and it's $260. But yeah, it's for me, it's a blast because it's that right shape, and it's got gorgeous components. Just have little plastic folks for your main people. Really good looking cards. I love the way they get these ordinary folks and dress them up and all the cards. And this guy always creeps out my daughter, my youngest. She's not scared of him. He's just weird looking.
Well, I think they're actors, and they would even have them come to some cons.
I've seen pictures. Yeah, so the theme is really good. And Flying Frog, everything I've seen by them, the zombie game, Last Night on Earth, wasn't my thing either.
Yeah, that's what I didn't go any deeper.
That one's pure competitive. But yeah, I didn't care for it as much. But the Fortune and Glory Indiana Jones one, I don't have it. I've played it. And then I have the Invasion from Outer Space and the Martian Invasion.
Are they still
the
around?
Circus? Yeah, the circus performers. Yeah, they're getting ready to make a new edition of this anniversary. I'm not getting it because I have it. But all their games are always really top-notch quality, really good-looking games.
Total Ameritrash theme.
Yeah, it's all about the theme in this thing. Right. And I have $265 tied up in it. And I don't know if they're coming out with anything more other than I've just heard they're going to redo it all on an anniversary. Which
I heard that is their best game, though. I mean, it's like
my
their
favorite.
Best. Isn't that their best seller too?
Probably.
Because a lot of people say they love it.
Yeah. The invasion from outer space, the invasion from Mars, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's pretty cool because you got these circus performers. They're the first line of defense against the Martian invasion. So you got the bearded lady, the fire breather, and the human cannonball. So they always had these weird themes, and they work. And the plastics minis are great in them. But I mean, it's really good stuff.
I do like that they're unique.
So I've liked it. I played. I have three games by him. But anyways, that's my number 3.
Cool. My number 2, just the box top, but this is the Ticket to Ride. Now, this is the 10th anniversary edition, but I think I may be missing one map pack. But
holy cow.
Yeah, this is the first game that gets my wife and I, Liz, into Euro games, or into gaming again, period. So there's a big nod to it for that. And she will see something like I avoided the, what was it, the Ticket to Ride card game. I think it was just kind of junk. I can't remember. There was a dice game too. I won't get them, and she'll come in and go, saw that. What do you think of that? I'm like, I heard it wasn't good. Oh, we got it. We got to have it. We have to have it. It's Ticket to Ride.
You had the monsters?
I did not get, and I had their names right there for a second. Yeah. I didn't get the monsters. I don't have them. They don't really, they're just.
Yeah, it seems silly to me. It didn't work, but
she loved the maps and the different, the Euro one is nicer with the stations. We still play, actually what's funny is she likes the regular Ticket to Ride even over this. This is bigger board, deluxe little pieces, the bigger cards instead of the little tiny cards. But our primary game's about wore out. Those little cards shuffled and just
you didn't get the 1910?
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, and then I got the bigger 18. Deck for the Europe deal. You name it, it's on a shelf upstairs. It even gets upstairs credit. This is the only one that's down here, because then she'll look at them and be like, let's do that. The Markland.
I didn't like that one.
I liked it because that's the one where you have passengers.
Yeah.
And you're pushing your luck. It's got a little push your luck element where, when are you going to trigger it? And the longer you can get it, the better. But then someone can zip in and just boop. So I like that. It was a little bit different. It was a German map, but I didn't understand all the trains, German trains, toys and stuff. I didn't know all that. I'm not, well, Liz kind of liked it, but again, I'm telling you, we go back to Ticket to Ride regular, Ticket to Ride Europe most of the time. So, but this came out, we picked it up. I think they even did a 15th anniversary. We do not have that.
I have the
but
base.
I wouldn't be surprised if it showed up at the house.
I have base, Europe, 1910, 18, and I got my wife Switzerland for Christmas because we liked it.
And they got some that
the
are
reason
better
it
for
missed
two
out on my
players.
list is because technically Switzerland's my wife's copy and not mine.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
otherwise it would have been 5. I looked at it and it's like, not mine.
Yeah, it's the one thing that if I don't get it, I'll get in trouble from the spouse.
But I stopped there and I was plenty happy with what I had.
So this is her Mythic Battles Pantheon.
She's more reasonable.
Yes. Let me just stage that. That is my number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is
Oh yeah.
Legendary. I do not have everything for it. Otherwise, I don't know if it'd be number 1 or not. I have the base game, and then the Dark City and Civil War expansions, and then also the Spider-Man Paint the Town.
Oh yeah, Paint the Town Red.
Yeah, Paint the Town Red and Homecoming, Fantastic Four, Captain America, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
And then I got the Studio One, which if you're familiar with this game, the gripe against it is all the cards, like all the Spider-Man cards, had the exact same artwork. Afterwards, they changed where all the same type of Spider-Man cards had the same artwork. When you went to a different, more better Spider-Man card, it had different artwork. So it did kind of mess with the mind a little bit to figure out. You had to read a little more carefully to figure out what you had. They went back, and I always thought they need to do that. Well, what they did is they used screenshots, and they call it Phase 1 because it's the guys from Phase 1 of the movie, or also Black Widow. But I mean, those folks, they rethemed the schemes to fit more in the movie. And they did add 2 villain groups. That's all they added that was fresh to it. They added the Chitauri army from Avengers, and like they called them like the Gamma Warriors. It was
Is this
Thunderbolt
an
Ross.
upgrade pack or a whole new box set?
It's like a miniaturized version of this.
Huh.
With 2, I mean, it's sucker move to get you to get into it. I traded for it. I was kind of done with my. You hated the game. It was like a smash up. I had some stuff, so I traded for it.
I thought I would like it.
I thought I'd play it, but I just never had anybody play with. So, anyways, I traded them for that. I wasn't willing to pay for it.
Did you get the villains?
No, I did not. That's all I got. I did not get the villains. And also included in this is the Firefly one, because I did what you did. Which the Firefly one, they should have used screenshots. I'm guessing it would have cost more. The artwork's kind of lame on it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But the game's blessed.
There's some that are good, and then there's like...
Yeah,
terrible.
that's all I got. I avoided the aliens and all the other stuff.
I got the aliens one,
Now-
because that's when they went into that new... Forget the style. What's the sub-name for that?
Anime?
No. But go ahead. It plays
Okay.
a little different.
Yeah, the... I know what you're talking about. Legendary Encounters?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's how
Encounter
Firefly is.
system,
Yeah, that's the Encounters one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the... Last fall I was down at Plano. My company sent me down there, so I went to Madness, their big store, and I was looking. I was like, "Holy cow, they got a lot of legendary stuff." Well, I never was a completist because I did not want Deadpool. He's just not my thing.
I haven't.
And I did not want Civil War. I mean, not Civil War. I got Civil War. I did not want Secret Wars because Secret Wars is the Beyonder 1987. Spider-Man gets a black alien symbiote costume. I don't know who these clowns are now. See, I quit reading comics in 2009, and they did that stupid. If anybody knows comics, One More Day. Stupidest Spider-Man story ever. Made me stop 35 years of collecting. I wrote Joe Quesade and said, "Thank you for being so stupid that you got me to stop this habit of mine."
Wow.
Yeah, Straczynski left the comic. He was done with. And the Babylon 5 guy, he did a killer run of Spider-Man. Anyways, so that's what got me off. So then they've been doing all this stuff, World War Hulk and all this other stuff. So I'm not getting any of that. I played the villains, didn't care for it. So I'm not definitely far from a completist. And I skipped Deadpool and skipped some others. I almost skipped Guardians of the Galaxy until I saw the movie and thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they didn't do Infinity War. Even if they do have some of the concepts in Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a money grab. I mean, come on, tap into your inner Richard Garfield. There's money to be made off this. Make an Infinity War in-game expansion. Just jump all over and make it a big expansion so you can rip people off more money.
I was playing it a lot, and I had one bad experience. Had nothing to do with the game. Had to do with the gamer.
Oh, that was a gamer. That's why you never go to the game store. You need to get over
It's
that, bro.
not just that. It's not just that. There were
You just reach over and slap him.
No, it was a few. There was a change at work and everything. So I won't blame that on one individual. That happens. If you're at a game, how much time we got? 9 minutes. Shut me down in 2. If you got a game group, a good game group, a good game group is gold.
Okay.
There we go. I've got 2 minutes. A good game group is gold, and I want a diverse game group. I want somebody that's maybe into playing more role-playing games. Somebody's into this. Somebody's into war games. I love that. And I know with that, face-to-face gaming, with a group of 20 to 35 folks, you're just going to have some different personalities. Hell, I'm weird, you know? I mean, so I get it. Probably the problem with that one thing, and that's not why I stopped coming, though, is we had a brand new father-daughter that were into superheroes, and so I'm teaching, and this individual wants to card lawyer the effects, the chain effects of a card. And it was frustrating just because I was like, play it the way you want. And then it was like, well, I want to do it right. I don't want to just do it. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to pick you up. So, I mean, but you got these folks playing for the first time. That
So you
wasn't
got
the
your phone
only.
and say, you've got 20 seconds to decide.
Yeah.
Make
And
a
then- I was
Debo,
like,
make a
play it-
choice,
play
get
it-
knocked out.
Play it to your most advantageous way you want to play it. Because I don't even care if I lose. We're just having fun.
Besides, most people play it cooperatively.
Yeah, you don't. Playing that game with you is rough because you'll stick it. You'll be like,
Yeah.
extra wound to you. And I'm like, this is
The Deadpool in here is actually kind of fun because he screws you over.
Yes. That's why that's fun. So that's it. I won't even go on the 2 minutes. Game groups are awesome. That's not the only reason I had to change a work schedule, and some other stuff on that too. But it did hurt the system for me a little bit, although Bo will point to it every once in a while and want to play.
Yeah, I mean, it solos well.
I
My
have
family
Firefly.
loves it. So I
like
got a
the
buddy that loves it.
encounters. Yes.
And so the only thing is you get 4 or more, the downtime starts to become pretty significant.
Yes, I like a 2-player.
There's one thing I will highly
2 or 3.
recommend. This changes. You know how there's all those card effects, backflip, wall crawl, all that stuff. You're like, which one is it? So you've got 10 different books in here from all the different
Yes.
expansions. There is an app. To my knowledge, it's only on iOS though. I don't know. You can check it out. It's called look under Legendary. I think it's called Assemble. But what it does is you get in there. I tell it. Right now I have it checked for everything I have. You could say I only want to play with these, and it says how many players you got. 3. How hard do you want it? Medium, hard, or easy? You pick it, boom, spits it out. It tells you you're going to use this mastermind, you're going to use this scheme.
Name it again. Name it again.
It's called a symbol. Yeah.
That would have even solved that night, probably.
Yeah. And the other cool thing is, there it is, games.
A symbol. I believe
Symbol. Yeah. It is. It has the entire rules in there and alphabetized. Every one of those card effects, it tells you. But the cool thing is, I'll build a villain deck, and then I'll realize, oh, I'm supposed to throw 5 extra bystanders in there. Go shuffle. No, it tells you right off. This is how you're going to build your villain deck. You're going to get this guy, this villain group, this. You're going to grab this many wounds. You're going to grab this, all the stuff. You're going to throw it in there, shuffle it, and go.
Need it.
And it is.
This is going to get back on the table.
It's a game changer.
Thank
you. You don't have iOS, do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're an Apple guy. Sweet.
7 plus, baby.
Okay. Success.
Mac.
I'm old school.
Yeah, I got an old Mac. If you're going to edit these videos, you really need a Mac.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
So yeah, that's my. Oh, I didn't say how much money. Now the other thing about this is pretty cool is a lot of this stuff I traded for the game. Actually, I bought the base game with like cute stuff my family got me from like cool stuff or something, gift certificates.
Did you print the cool dividers?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. That's extra money I have tied up in this.
Yeah,
very cool. But I traded for a couple of those I said and Guardians. Everything else is Christmas presents because a lot of those expansions are pretty reasonably priced.
They are.
So it's funny. One of those I haven't spent that much, but my family always knows I like it and they like it. So my total value I have in it
$10,000
is $325.
Sorry.
I was like, what's this come from? I have this note plus 250 sleeves.
Ooh.
No, I sleeved every card because my copy of Firefly, come partially sleeved, so I just finished it off. But that tells you if partial was 250.
I think I was
that game's got a lot of sleeves.
I think I was quoting my price on it.
If I tried to sleeve this thing would go through the roof.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. But honorable mentions, I actually didn't have any on this list other than, I guess, if I was going to throw something in, it might be Seventh Continent, because I bought the white box version and I went all in on some stuff. I got it off Kickstarter, but that would probably be the only other thing I would throw in as an honorable mention for most expensive series.
I had tickets right. I actually made the list out. War games, non-war games, I had like the top 15. I was trying to remember. But I can't think of much else. Pandemic, I only had the original and the first expansion. That was it.
I picked up a few of those.
But see, then they redid their edition, and that's not compatible. So I was like, hey, whatever. So I had those
about
two.
that Rome thing they did, or they did the one in
didn't
Spain?
do any of that stuff.
Okay, I did some of those.
And I was trying to think, do I have any Euros with extra stuff?
See, Seventh Continent's not quite a series. It's just another one. But they are going to do this kind of medieval kingdoms, Seventh Kingdoms or Kingdoms thing. So I don't know. That might be. But So I'll go to my number one.
I can't think of a darn thing I have outside
sure
of
there's
those
stuff.
two.
I'm sure there's some other stuff.
Okay.
Because I do have Star Trek, the Captain's thing, and I thought about that too. I picked up Romulans, but all right. Let's go on to Zombicide.
Having a sense of deja vu.
There is deja vu here. This is the second one. So I got the first one, the second one, the third one, the Black Plague, the Wolfsburg, I'm not sure I'm saying it right, the expansion for that. Inside I got every single stretch goal extra purchase that you can imagine. The prison outbreak, crazy with all the extra stuff in there. Rue Morgue, that's the number 3, this prison outbreak. Boom.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Or Edgar Allan Poe, take your pick.
Then the setup and teardown in this can be painful. So then I bought these wood things that you put together that fit inside the box. So when you take the lid off, there's trays that come out. The cards are there. The map boards are there. We're up and playing. As zombies are killed or whatever, they go back in the tray. You put it back together. Each one of those, I think, was God dang, they were expensive. Whatever they were, I can't remember what they were. I bought a pack for each one of
Plano
those.
boxes are pretty cheap.
I don't like that, though. I wanted it all in the box. I didn't want extra stuff because I'm also on display, and I wanted to be able to pull it out. It's all in the same spot, because if you're playing Prison Outbreak and all of a sudden you're looking for, where's the special kind of zombie for that? Because they've got different zombies types that do different stuff. Boy, did I go in. And so I had to stop myself, because they then, as they genred it went to invasions and it went to whatever. Now they're doing a Zombicide version style upgrade 2. I'm out. These I have will play enough. Yeah. I'm out. Yes. That's one of the best.
Was it an
episodes.
intervention?
The contest.
Was it really you getting out, or was it an intervention?
No, you know what? We still get tons of gameplay value out of this. I realized on version 3, we weren't even playing it as much as going back to the first one. And I thought, okay, I've gone too deep and we've got plenty of content. That is my number one. Again, I hazard a guess with the amount of little extras and add-ons and things I have. It probably rivals Mythic Battles, but I've broken the addiction. I will not upgrade to the cool plastic trays that look really awesome. There is an app. I don't know if it's still supported. The app was great for helping manage your folks, and I'm good. I will probably still play this years from now. I'm good. Did I tell you I'm good?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in therapy.
The Avengers app's the Symbol app's only $5. Ooh. You can get it free, but advertisements don't do that. They always pay the money because there's a price when they're free.
There's a price.
Yeah, it's always gobbling up your phone stuff.
They're tracking you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your
number one, sir.
My number one. I only have 2 games in my collection that I would call a way of life games. Have you heard that phrase?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Usually attributed to ASL, which Greg has assured me is not. I'm not sure if it really is, or just he has such incredible powers to not be swayed by the dark side. Because, man, I know a lot of ASL players, it is a way of life.
Sure.
But
it's like boat people.
My way of life games are Starfleet Battles and this. And when I have Stratomatic Basketball, I'll put the picture up. I have 2 copies of this. My sister gave me her copy. I have a 1973 one. I thought I was getting the cards and then found out I forgot that 81, they changed the system, so everything before that's not compatible. And then I got the baseball game. Way this happened was I was in an APA baseball league, draft league, and had a lot of fun with it, and I was telling Dad about it. He got Stratomatic, and it had this great reputation. We played it that summer, had a blast. He went out and bought, because he's old school and he's the reason I'm a Yankees fan. We had the 88 season. So, and that was the Bash Brothers, if you remember him. So he got the 1956, Mantle wins the Triple Crown, 61, Maris hits 61, 77, because my heir, Greg Nettles, 86, Mattingly's best season. He buys those 4, and we're playing all kinds of stuff. And then he buys like 50, and 1927, the greatest, well, they say the greatest of all time, Murders Row, Ruth Garrick, all those guys. So he gets those card sets. Then he upgrades to the computer version when they come out with it, which is hilarious. It was 5 1/4 inch floppies on his 640K IBM compatible DOS machine. He gets all that stuff, so he just gives me all this stuff. Here, I don't need this stuff anymore. So I've got a bunch of money in the baseball game alone. Okay? Basketball, I go off to college, and we had been playing Status Pro, and my roommate and I had played that so much we had actually broke the game. We figured out how to exploit it. There's a gigantic hole. If you want to do it, read my review on that game. Dad had got me this, and he and I played it. I become the commissioner of our draft league on the dorm floor, 6 of us, keeping all my stats on the Apple IIc. How's that for dating me? Putting the stats on the door and all this stuff. Every year they come out with the card sets, because you don't have to buy the game every year, just get the cards, because that's really what keeps it going every year. I'd get the cards, I'd get them right before Christmas. I was working over Christmas break back home, and I would still manage to play a single elimination tournament like the NCAA with all the teams.
Wow.
And then I'd go up and we'd scout all the cards out, draft league. And I ended up with, I started in 89, 90, 91, 92. 93, it comes out on computer. This is the hilarious part. 3.5 inch floppy disk. Okay. Later, I upgraded to the CD version in 2008, and in 2017, I upgraded to the downloadable version off the internet. So yeah, I have 3 copies of the entire game on computer. I did get the 2000. I got like 97. I still prefer the computer does so much more, especially in baseball. Manages the rest better. But I love the board game, even though it's longer and all. Just chucking the dice. When you hit the 3 at the buzzer, bam! You go. I mean, it's just nothing like it. But yeah, we'd get these draft leagues. I would play. I would always play the NCAA style tournament, and the number 1 seed never won. That was always a trip, including 2017, when I thought Golden State was the best team I'd ever saw, and then they got upset by Toronto, and that was the pre-Kawhi Leonard team. That was DeRon DeRozan winning the MVP for nerds out there like myself. Anyways, but yeah, I got out of the NBA in 2002. I was convinced they were rigging the games, and everybody who knows the NBA knows exactly what I'm talking about. Game 6, Sacramento, LA. Just done. 2008, I got curious to see what Kobe and LeBron and Howard and some of these guys' cards look like. So I got the game, thought, I'll get into this. Got the computer, never played it. 2017, change of commissioner. I started getting a little more convinced maybe this whole thing isn't as fixed, because it wasn't always necessarily the media market teams winning. And I don't know, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It was just convenient. And then Donaghy wrote that book, which is a great read, and talks about how he knew how to play the system because of what the league was doing. But yeah, the Sixers get good again. First time since 2001. And I really want to see what this stuff's about. So I get it so I can get Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, all these guys. And I play the single elimination tournament. Oh, I'm on this. I got the computer. I'm going to be playing this thing like crazy. I go back. I buy the 2001 card so I can get the Iverson MVP card and a couple of other stuff. And I really haven't played. I just don't like the computer version as much, despite doing everything more efficiently.
The tactile.
Yeah. And I did actually find a break in their game, because I said, there's no way on God's green earth this guy can get that rebound. I know his card and what, blah, 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 blah. And I wrote them, I said, you got a bug. And this happened. They said, can you record it for us? So took screenshots and stuff. It's like, well, no, we need the actual log files. Like, great. It's not easy to replicate. Anyway, my total value in this, between having 13 seasons of basketball on cards, 9 seasons on computer, 3 it's like 6 seasons of baseball cards, 3 computer programs, and 4 board games. I got $1,000 tied up in it. So yeah,
Wow.
and like I
You
said,
beat me.
it is well, I'm not sure I got that one game years beat though, but
I think you do. It doesn't really cost as much as this.
yeah, and like I said, it's funny the cards come out to like $20, but it does add up, and then you buy in the computer disc and blah blah blah. And like I said, Dad gave me a whole bunch for free, and my sister gave me an entire board game. But yeah, it's a way of life for the best. Yeah, I sat there and crunched. I wrote all the values out and added them, and a lot of the cards are out of print, and they don't reprint them either. I mean, but baseball is just their big seller. They know it. Basketball is more of a niche market. And what's interesting is the game in the '90s was really, I mean, it's really exceptional. It teaches you a lot about basketball, just matchups and things like this. And why, I mean, it's just really cool. And you learn. I just grab a card, look at it, and put it down immediately and tell you all about that player, strengths and weaknesses and everything, how well they drive, shoot threes, pull up, post up, their defense, everything. But what I did notice when I got 2017 was the game hasn't aged well because the NBA completely changed. They went to zones. It's all about popping the threes now. You see very little post up. The guys like Akeem Olajuwon, you don't see him anymore. It's very much about drive it and slam it or hit the three because it's all about the analytics now. And I have noticed the game just doesn't when I was playing that tournament, I was seeing these games regularly in the 120, 130s on the scores. And just like these things aren't quite lining up. And the rules for how you shoot threes, I had to start tweaking stuff to make it. Because, I mean, it was really hard from a guy from the 90s where you're chucking up 6 threes a game, trying to check up 45 a game. It's an obscene amount that's like, this just feels wrong. But you finally get used to it. But it's just seemed like the game needs some type of tweak with the rules. And when they started slowing it down in the 90s, I started pulling like 5 cards out of the deck for the timer deck to match, so it'd start to match up better. But I don't know, it just seems like the core game doesn't work as well, but it's still a lot of fun. And if there was a draft league, I would rather play this in a draft league in Wichita over every game in my collection.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing like a draft league. I mean, you draft your players, you're wheeling and dealing. It'd be really cool if you could assign salary cap money to them and try to work within the confines of a cap. And then you'd always find these weird guys. I found the 1989 John Sunvolt card. He's a bench player from Miami expansion team. Had this wicked 3. I put him out there, and in the days of the 80s, in our draft league, I was chucking up like 14 threes a game from him. But you run into a couple of weird players and everybody knows them, so it's like, hey, it's fair game. You knew you could have drafted him. And it was so funny when the first time we played the draft league. My roommate and I played it so much, we took the last round each turn. And they're like, yeah, I got Michael Jordan. I'm like, yeah, but I know how to neutralize him pretty well in this league. I can double up on him and blah, 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 blah. And they get to me and I like pick Karl Malone and you're thinking, yeah, he ended up fighting it out for MVP of the league. But it was funny, some of them, when I picked John Sunvolt in the 5th round or 6th round, made everybody scratch their head. And then I got like Ron Harper. And we're just weird players, but I knew how to put together a real cohesive team. Sorry, I'm probably rambling.
That was neat.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's tied into all these real people.
Yeah.
It makes it sound like you're this huge sports nerd, but it's really the board game version that drew you in, not the actual watching of them. Do you watch a lot of basketball?
Well, back then when I was in college, I couldn't.
You couldn't watch
I didn't have a TV in college.
Okay.
So, I'd follow it. Oh, goodness. Every week the USA would come out. USA Today. I would sit there and just comb the stats. I did an internship out at a laboratory, so I was gone for 6 months. Oh, I watched the NBA all the time then. But, I mean, that USA Today come out, I was just, because there was no basketballreference.com, all stuff on the internet, I would just comb those stats to see whose numbers had changed. Every day I got a subscription to the Kansas City Star in college just to look at the NBA box scores. And I was just such a fanatic. I mean, you could name a team, and I would tell you.
Fanatic basketball, not just how.
Yeah, the entire NBA. You name a team, I could tell you what they need, who they should trade. I knew pretty much how much money these guys were making, how you could try to slide it, and I'd know fully all the cap.
Why was Larry Bird so good?
He did everything.
And team player.
Yeah, I mean, he had the whole package. Individual defense was a little bit, but he knew how to play within the system and play the lanes and steal stuff. He's a player that could actually play today, because a lot of the games, Jordan would have a little more problems because he was a terrible 3-point shooter. I remember this in '92. That was a luck game. Look him up. '98, he was the worst 3-point shooter. Everybody had 100 attempts or more. the guys without the perimeter, but man, he did it all. And his trash talking, when you
Bird?
oh goodness, he walked out on the court and told X-Men at the end of the game, "You know, I'm getting the ball, don't you?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Tell you what, X, I'm going to shoot the ball right here in your face and win the game." And then he did. It's like he walked over the Lakers. They called a timeout. And he said, Byron, you guys don't need to do all this. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come off 2 picks, go over in that corner, and hit the game winner on you. And then he did. It's like the guy was so. He told the press he was going to shoot left-handed for 3 quarters because he was bored, and he scored 24 points doing that.
I missed all this.
Oh yeah, they talked about his. Wow. He was such a notorious trash talker.
I'm more impressed.
But I hated him because I'm a Sixer fan. But I miss him because he was such a great player.
So wrapping her around
Sorry.
again. No, you're good. Put your top 5 or whatever top 1 if you want. I don't care. But put your list in the comments. I plan on coming back and doing a fans version in a live show. I'm going to try to set those up on the Saturday following. So what I'm trying to do is get this a little more organized. I'm hoping HAMTAGs will come out on a Saturday. I will plan for them to come out on a Saturday. The following Saturday, all right, probably, I think I'll do it the following Saturday, so that'll be 7 full days. I'll do a live show, and I'll pull folks' names and their lists from the comments. I will jump on BGG, Board Game Geek. If you're not familiar with Board Game Geek, I think most people are. I post them there as well, and it's another place where you can go in and put comments. And you'll usually cross-post, and some people put them there too. But the best place you can put your comments is actually on the YouTube channel itself, Bonding with Board Games. Put them there. That'll be the first place I'll look at. Also, please, if you like the channel, hit the like, subscribe,
and ring the bell.
The bell actually lets you know when we go live. With me working in live shows on this, you're going to want the bell on there as long as you want to be notified. Maybe you want to, take tiny morsel bites of HAMTAG. Who knows? And don't forget Patreon, Bonding with Board Games. Come in there. You can help support. It'll keep everything going. And
there's a guy who rang his bell and he talks old school basketball, so I'm always giving him context of what was actually happening. But I don't know why they traded Mitch Richmond. So I get this big long about this is why Golden State traded Mitch Richmond, blah, 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 blah. People are tripping that I remember all that old stuff.
You do. I don't know how you do it. You can go deep and wide. Deep and wide. Bonding with Board Games. Game it! I'm trying to come up with a tagline.
Okay.